I will start this presentation by showing you guys the project references so that you guys know how ETFE Film has been beautifully installed for the projects. So the first one is Seoul Botanic Park in South Korea. This is one of the latest addition to our project list. So as you can see, it is different from the typical botanical project because the architecture is topped off with a concave roof instead of the outward protruding dome. And as we all know, the limitation of having a concave roof is that for botanical project, the center and the edge of the building might not receive enough sunlight. So by using ETFE film, it enables the unique this concave roof with a thin frames to have a sufficient sunlight. And that's why the interior is brightly lit as a result. So if you can see from this slide, if you stand outside the building itself, and when the LED lights up, it looks like this. And when viewed from top, it looks like a floral shaped greenhouse. So the lighting concept designed by Eon SLD in Korea was daydreaming in a garden. With portrayal of different lights, the panels come to life at night. And as the film panels are in different shapes and sizes, different scene combination can be created together with various colors as well as the design patterns. So that's that for the Seoul Botanic Garden, Botanic Park, sorry. So the second one is the Singapore Sports Hub in Singapore. So this project is completed in 2014. We all know about this sports hub is because of the famous retractable roof. And the roof itself is made of ETFE film, which help to reduce the overall weight of the roof and the required steel structure. The film selection is carefully considered as this is not only to help with the solar gain reduction, but also to provide shades and to ensure optimal projection and roof illumination at night with the LED lighting itself. So I guess by now you guys have an idea about what ETFE film is and what it can do as a building material. And for those of you who are curious, ETFE stands for ethylene tetrafluoroethylene. Chemically, it looks like this. So it's the chemical structure, and physically, it really looks like a plastic film. So Fluon, which is our brand name, is a high-performance fluoropolymer film, a building material for architectural envelopes such as roofing, facade, and skylight application. And due to its flexibility, lightweight characteristic, and high transparency, ETFE film has been widely used in the recent years. And this is just a snapshot of our standard films. So we have 6 types. The clear semi-matte, semi-matte means it's just like one side matte, and also double matte, and then blue, white, as well as printed. So moving on to our unique features, ETFE film has high light transmittance, so for up to 95%. That's why it's ideal for roofing and architectural facades. But I understand in this part of the world, as in Southeast Asia, we receive a lot of sunlight. So perhaps VLT of 60 or 70% is enough, and that is possible with the printed films. The second one is that it is a light material, so it's just 0.5 kilogram per square meter. So if we translate it into a glass weight, it is just about 5%. The third one is a weatherability. The film is resistant to IR and UV. So we do a lab test as well as the on-site weathering test. We do a 30 years accelerated. So after that test, it shows that there is almost no sign of deterioration. And the fourth one is about design flexibility. So based on the 2 project references that I showed you guys earlier on, it can track many shapes, even if the form is highly complex. And it is also possible with LED integration. So I will show more project references at a later slide. The fifth one is heat and chemical resistance. The film is non-flammable. It is highly resistant to chemicals such as acids and base, and then a solvent. The film also has an anti-stick property. As for the sustainable features, we focus on the 3 items such as safety, energy efficient, and resource efficient. So first one, for the safety, because the material is very light, so in the event of natural disaster, it will not shatter like how glass will behave. And in case of fire, it does not spread and drip. The second one is about energy efficiency. So as I mentioned, it is transparent and has high VLT. So it encourages natural lighting to be implemented to the design, which means that it can reduce the electric lighting usage and as well as the cooling load, which will give you an optimum indoor environment. And the last one is a resource efficient. Okay, so the last one is resource efficient. Since the material is very light, we don't need a lot of primary steel structure to support the material. So we can save about 30 to 50% of the structural support. It also requires lesser manpower for installation, and the installation time itself is very fast, so it's very short. It also requires lesser material and electrical costs, and that is because the film itself already reduces the electric lighting usage. That's why the electric cost is lower. And since the film has an anti-stick property, that's why this material is a very low maintenance material. So in terms of cleaning or maintenance, about once or twice per year will do. So because all of this, it gives you an overall cost saving. Fluon is also a green material whereby it is 100% recyclable. Right, so this is a table comparison between a new and a 27-year-old exposed film. So in terms of VLT, there is not much changes, just about 0.2% difference. And mechanical-wise, even after it is clean, also less than 2% difference as compared to the new one. Customizable. So depending on your design requirement, ETFE film can be customized in terms of film combinations such as number of layers, colors, print, shapes, and sizes. So here is one of our project reference in China, so Water Cube in Beijing. We can see that each panel has different panels, different shapes and sizes. So the project uses about 300,000 square meters of Fluon ETFE film with more than 200 unique shapes. I was also informed that there are no 2 panels with the same sizing. Apart from the design aesthetic, design requirements also includes optical and thermal performance, so such as VLT, SC value, and U value. So from here, we can decide on the film configuration. ETFE film can be used as a single layer or a multi-layer system. So for a simplified comparison with glass, the number of layers can be loosely compared to single, double, and triple light glazing units. In fact, ETFE film, the system are very similar in performance to glazing system unit and are serving as an alternate options for this system. In the case of Water Cube in Beijing, ETFE panels are designed to ensure the venue is well lit during the day with appropriate levels of internal daylight, visual connection, and visual comfort. And in Southeast Asia, the typical spec for ETFE film is usually 2 layers with upper layer with the printed ones and then transparent lower layer. As for safety performance, many people think that since it is lightweight, the structure will easily fail. But the answer is no. ETFE film cushion has high load bearing capacity and has a strong structure integrity when it is installed correctly. So don't worry, the panels will not fly out of the frame during typhoon. We do have Philippines projects whereby the wind speed is about 300 km/h. So therefore, with careful calculation and spec selection, safety is ensured. There is always a concern for how the material will behave in the event of fire. So ETFE has been rated as a self-extinguishing with no melting or dripping of burning material. So when exposed to direct flame, ETFE film will crumple, shrink, and disintegrate if it is exposed long enough. So it just vents the fire to the atmosphere. The film has passed International Fire Safety Standard and rated Class B S1D0, which means its smoke production is very limited and it does not produce flaming droplets. Okay, so for cushion system, how does it work? This is a cross-sectional view of ETFE cushion system. So the film layers, 2 layers in this case, are restrained in aluminum extrusion and supported by the steel structure. The cushion is then inflated by connecting it to the air inflation unit by an air tube. The pressurized air itself in between the layers serves to stabilize the film and provide structural performance in addition to the thermal performance of the system. So one air inflation unit, just the size of like a cabin baggage, can cover about 1,000 to 1,500 square meter according to the film curvature. So now I will move on to the project references so that it's easier for you to visualize how ETFE film can be applied. So the first one is Reservoir Sentosa in Singapore. ETFE film covers a wide area of RWS. We can see here that the area looks airy and spacious, and this is because there is no main structure built in the middle of the area to support the material. All supporting structures are built at the site, so at the 2 sites, just on top of the structures, the existing building structures. And the pattern printed on the film is a customized one. It was designed to adjust the thermal comfort level. And not only RWS, but it also extends to Universal Studios Singapore. This is located at New York Theme Zone, just outside the replica of New York Public Library. So as you can see, it is not glaring. The optical performance is still at comfortable level during the midday. So this video is actually taken at about 12:30 p.m. Next one is Tampines Hub in Singapore. We can see that there is large column-free spaces. And if you notice from the skylight, I hope you can see my cursor. So the skylight has a different panel combination according to the architect design intent. So the different panel combination gives you a sky effect. So when you at the shopping mall indoor, when you look up, it looks like sky. Next one is Australia Embassy in Indonesia. Again, there is no big column to disrupt the view. The film is supported just by using the steel cable, and that is enough for structural integrity. So you feel that as if you are outdoor when you are actually located indoor. Next one, this is our latest project in Indonesia, just completed early last year. So Yogyakarta International Airport is the first Indonesia airport with green ship certification by Green Building Council Indonesia. So the drop-off area uses 2-layer ETFE film system, which gives you an excellent optical and thermal control and shows nice LED display at night. Next one is Optical in the Philippines. This is one of our ongoing projects for walkway canopy in between 2 main buildings. So this is a very straightforward. Next one is Yujiapu railway station in China. This project is rather unique, nice looking exterior design and very spacious interior. So natural lighting can also come in. At the outside, this is the close-up picture of the individual panels. And there is also a water gutter to prevent any leakage. So this is basically just the design intent. Next one is Tron at Shanghai Disneyland, China. This attraction is the main piece of Tomorrowland Park. So it has gained much attention due to its nature of the ride. So it's like a roller coaster, as well as the architectural design. So I would say that the curve wave or color changing lightweight canopy suit the theme itself. If I'm not wrong, the theme is like something magical kingdom. So it brings different ride experience, and it is extremely beautiful internally as well as at night because of the LED display. The next one is the River Culture Theatre Pavilion in South Korea. This project has a bowl-shaped structure cladded in ETFE cushion. So it gives quilted texture and silvery color to the exterior walls. Uniqlo Japan. Okay, Uniqlo Japan is actually a renovation project whereby ETFE film is installed as a double screen canopy. So it is built on top of the existing structure. So I'll play a video. As you can see, the lighting can be programmed and played accordingly. So if you visit Osaka next time, after the travel ban is lifted, you should visit Sensaibashi. It is a very popular tourist spot, and you definitely wouldn't miss this Uniqlo due to its lively facade at night. Okay, next one is Entertainment Center in Kazakhstan. This center opened in 2010, and this project is the world's tallest tensile structure at 150 meters. And since the material is very light, it just needs one three-leg main primary structures. And LED is also part of the design to light up the facade at night. Right, the next one is arena in Netherlands. So this is short clips to show how the construction go about from the framing to the film installation itself. So you can see very minimal manpower. If I can go back. Yeah, so it shows that maybe it's just like 3 or 4 people to install the panels, and the duration itself is very fast to complete the installation. So this is how it looks like from the interior. So it's well lit during the day. The next one, and I think this is the last project reference that I would like to show. This arena is the first commercial project in architectural industry with ETFE film. So the whole facade is covered with ETFE film, and LED lights are also incorporated to light up the whole arena. So this is how it looks like when the LEDs light up. Okay, so why AGC Fluon ETFE Film? Firstly, because we have a large production base. We produce our own ETFE resin in Japan and UK. So we are #1 in terms of ETFE resin as well as the film capacity. We also do have technical support, and we provide strong supply chain in the region. Secondly is excellent performance. So we do have thicker films and UV cut grade. UV cut grade is normally meant for greenhouse projects, so it's not really for architectural projects. And then for the durable print, we also use the durable print, which is our in-house Lumiflon FEVE. It is better ink for printing, does not delaminate, and it has better adhesion. And as I mentioned during the sustainable features just now, ETFE film is a green material whereby it is 100% recyclable. Right, so I would like to spend a wee bit of time in this slide. So other than Fluon ETFE film, here is our one-stop solution for sustainable building and construction. I understand that many people think that AGC is a glass company. Yes, we started as a glass company, but we have expanded to electronics, chemicals, and ceramics division. So in fact, Fluon ETFE film comes from chemicals division. So firstly that I would like to mention is, of course, our high performance glass. So they are all regionally manufactured in Indonesia with Asahimas, and in Thailand with AGC Flat Glass Thailand. So I'm sure most of you are very familiar with our glass product names, such as Stop Ray, Sunergy, Desanlux, Topsol, Tanibelgi, and etc. The next one is Smart Glass. Smart Glass still carried by the Singapore office. So it is named Glasstech, which is a double glazing unit with LED in between the two panes. So it is embedded in the airspace. Yes. And then the third one, we do have a special glass. So we do have anti-reflective glass clear side. So it has a very high VLT and low iron glass. And then fire rated glass parabel with a ranging of fire rating classes from 30 minutes to 2 hours. And the third one, we do have a security glass such as like a bulletproof glass, anti-theft, anti-explosion named Stratobel. So the one that is currently hype up is energy creating facade glass. It is our building integrated photovoltaic sun e-watt. And lastly, coming from the glass division is our interior and mirror. So from chemicals division, we do have durable coating resin, which I mentioned to coat the printed films. So it is called Lumiflon FEVE. It can be used for a different kind of substrates such as aluminum frame, solid aluminum, ACP, CFC, and it can also be applied for heavy duty applications. So this coating resin have at least a 30 years warranty. And secondly, it's about high performance fluoropolymer film, ETFE film, which we just discussed much in depth about it. However, today I only mentioned about the architectural part. But in fact, ETFE film can also use in greenhouse projects under the name of F-Clean. And lastly, we also offer clean and durable sealant resin called Azestar. So it is also well known as a modified silicone. So other than clean and durable, we also provide a colored sealant for color matching purposes. So for example, if let's say your ACP in blue in color, we can provide a blue colored sealant without it being painted. And of course, this sealant can be painted as well. So this is the end of my presentation. Once again, I'm Arviana Onasie from AGC Asia Pacific. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have some good takeaways from this presentation.